Yeah, right now I'm more interested in outside than inside. Yeah.
Okay, nice. You know, the photography students came back from the north of Africa right now from a student trip. They're also really outside a lot. It's a nice program. There are really cool people teaching there too. What's with the rest? What's with the rest? What do you want to study? I just anyhow see big letters, gray windows. Liz, Seed, Telma, Olaf. What do you want to study?
Hello. I'm not sure
Hey,
if you
peace.
can hear me.
For sure.
Hmm?
For sure, absolutely. We can hear you clearly, perfectly.
Okay, good. So I'm interested for visual communications, and I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do in the future. I've always liked art and anything that has to do with it, so that is also why I'm here.
But you want to study like in a bachelor program in visual, meaning sense of communication design or visual experience design?
In visual communications design.
Okay, nice. That's nice.
I studied the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to imagine how people can see the world and to be able to visualize this stuff. That's cool.
Okay. Should we start like 5 past? Yeah,
Yeah,
one
for
more
sure.
minute, or should we just go ahead?
Nobody wants to talk, so
Basically, yeah, we had more than 50 registration for today, but right now we received like 10. So that's why I was expecting that more people to join. I was giving like 5 minutes that maybe they come in this time, but we can start if it's fine with you. Yeah?
absolutely. Let's go.
So, welcome everybody to the portfolio coaching. And we're gonna just start. I just gonna record this session. And yeah. Okay, great. So it's Shagayer from the student advisory and Professor Claude from DEC. He's gonna help you assist you with the questions regarding your portfolio, and you're gonna get more information how you should submit your portfolio, what we are expecting basically from portfolio for each program. So please feel free if you have any questions, just raise your hand or write it in the chat. We can answer afterwards. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So how can I submit my portfolio, the curriculum and the appendix, and for bachelor programs and master programs, and then evaluation of the submitted projects? These are the agenda, and how can I submit my portfolio? Should I go ahead? Yeah?
Let's give us some time to read, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to jump inside. A lot of boxes, but let's imagine each column represents half a year. So first semester, second semester is your first year, third and fourth is your second year. And then you have a little break, and maybe you're going to start there quickly. So in the fifth semester, you're not going to be in the university. Since you're mainly anyhow abroad, I think maybe a semester abroad doesn't make so much sense, even if I would recommend you absolutely to get more teaching practice, also outside of Berlin, or you're going to do an internship. before all these fifth semester, you're going to be prepared. What is your last semester? So your last semester is mainly yours. It's in the moment right now. You, let's say, don't need to know what you're going to do in the final semester, but this is, let's say, your major project. You're going to write a thesis, and all the 4 semesters you see before should kind of bring you to make your own project. It's always, let's say, the first 2, it's really something like what we call foundation. You learn a lot about design, visual aspects. You see there's theory inside. You need to write little texts. You're going to read a lot of texts too. From the even from the second semester on, it starts to be really practical. So you're going to do projects, and these projects, let's imagine them, they should end up in your portfolio. So these are projects which you can absolutely use for the reference after your studies. I'm in the moment teaching in this kind of stuff which you see in the bottom, tools and tech. So I will guide you or will help you to build prototypes. I don't know, if you're a bit scared of theory, you shouldn't. It's written in the first 2 years of your studies that you're going to have theory, and it's cool. It's going to be good stuff, really. I might say. I don't know if you know that all bachelor, but as well as also master programs are counted in ECTS. So let's imagine everything that you see here as a square going to count as ECTS points, and you need to get in the end 180. It's going to be easy. Yeah. Do you have any questions to this overview?
Maybe one thing just to.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, let's say.
Yes.
Hey.
A question: what type of projects?
They're going to be in the semesters following.
I mean, can we choose by ourselves, or it's like we need to do the same all together?
It depends a bit, first of all, what kind of program you want to study. Do you know this kind of?
Yes, design and management.
Okay, so let's imagine they're going to be specially for your program. There's let's say a curriculum which has projects. They're switching projects, but it's not really that they're so the same as other programs. So they're going to be really focused on your program. And I just going to give you as an example, if you would have studied in this year, for example, communication design, I think you could choose between 8 projects, 7 or 8. I don't remember that much, but it's a pool of projects you can choose from. You could also do an own one, but this would need to, let's say, you can do this really easily, decide when you're in the university, but mainly you choose per semester your pool of 2 projects from a list of possibly, I don't know, 4 or 8, depends a bit on what program you enter.
Okay, thank you.
Yannick, what you wanted to ask?
Yeah, it was a similar question, so resolved now.
Okay. Somebody else having a question to kind of this program? I just say it's a really practical approach. You learn to design by doing this stuff, or you learn by photography by doing this stuff. It's not really too much looking at stuff. No? So it's really a practical approach. You will also look at stuff, but it's you should end up far more with stuff in your portfolio to have a life afterwards too. Cool, no questions, easy, cool. Can we go on?
Okay, the programs that we are offering at UE. Bachelor programs, foundation, diploma, art and design, illustration, film and motion design, game design, communication design, photography, and UX UI design. foundation diploma, art and design. Okay, I'll let you to read the slide. So for those that they don't have a portfolio, there is also an option that they can take a foundation. So foundation gonna be 6 months, and in these 6 months, basically you're gonna get the chance to know how to build your portfolio. You're gonna get all the support that to make your portfolio ready for the bachelor program is a foundation. So you get all the basic knowledge that you be prepared for the bachelor degree to start the program.
Okay, illustration. Illustration is, let's say, a program which, let's imagine these keywords there, 15 work samples, theme-based, major, title size material. This gonna be more or less for all of them. The amount of work might change, but let's imagine you hand in everything that you can imagine as something which can show that you want to become an illustrator. I think this can be complete finished works, but it can be also sketches. There is something which we always want to have, since you need to be able to formulate what you had in mind by doing this. So we kind of, we recommend that you kind of share some insights. We want to have not just like a CV, what you have done, but on the other side, we also want some sort of motivational letter. So if you could kind of not just imagine to put 15 works together, but to be able to formulate why these 15 works are inside, and maybe also why you want to become an illustrator. Yeah, and then don't be scared. I just say, even here is written a CV. Don't be scared of the CV. If you don't have this professional practice, these kind of relevant experience, I don't know. This sounds also when I come from this school, sounds a bit too much maybe. So I think really write down the stuff you know, which you have done. Maybe you have done some little jobs in the summer. I just say I cannot give you for all this stuff advice, but if you write down that you were taking care of something for 6 months, we will see that you are able to do stuff which you maybe do for free, or you're going to do it for a special interest. And this is a really valuable thing too. It doesn't need to be always this kind of professional practice. I think we cannot ask you that you have worked for film and motion already in a creative industry or something. You know what I mean? It can be really simple things in the CV. I think for film and motion, you can imagine that it would be interesting to see that you worked with these kind of linear medium, no? So that you created something already like a film. I think as minimum a storyboard. But yeah, I think it would be nice to see the movie, to see some ideas for movies. Maybe you don't need to hand in really just movies. It can be also, as I said, there are storyboards with pictures to show what kind of ideas you would like to have. All in all, we ask you for special type of formats. Yeah, I think PDF is the most common one, and then the videos should or could be uploaded. I think this is most ideal. They should be linked inside of the portfolio if you can. I think QR codes, I don't know, they're so simple to create today. Sometimes it's also nice to imagine to have a QR code. Can I ask you all a question? What do you think? How do people see these applications here? So you're going to send it over, and then how do you think? How do these people which sit in our university see this application?
Are you asking for me?
No. So all the ones who need to apply.
Okay.
You're gonna send it in, and then you're gonna imagine, I created this for people which sit in front of.
Well, that's a bit the reason why I'm also here, because I'm not sure.
What do you imagine? What do you imagine? Do they sit always in front of a computer? Or do they
I
look
have
at
two
on their
ideas.
phones? I don't know. I don't see my phone, but
Oh.
here's my phone. What do you think? How do they see it first?
Yeah. I guess on their computer, I would imagine.
Okay, this is more like the last century.
Okay.
You need to imagine that people will do this in all conditions of their life. It can be easily that this is in the morning. They came to email, hey, can you look at this portfolio? This happens to our program in general email, so all of our teaching stuff gets this email, and then somebody looks at this. I wouldn't imagine that they're always on a computer. I just say, modern life is not just focused on a computer, so just scroll this stuff on a phone too and see how it feels. You know, we can zoom really quickly inside. You can click links too on a phone too. It's not a necessity, but I just say in real world, not everything is always as you imagine to be on a computer. Is there another question? Violetta, are you asking something? No.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
In the second bullet point where it says digital animation or motion graphics, is it entirely necessary to have something entirely made by ourselves, or is it also acceptable to, for example, have a video with like stuff that we can show our skills?
And there are parts of your work inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just say it would be stupid from our industry to imagine that we do everything ourselves. I think afterwards, after you studied, you will anyhow end in team projects where sometimes there's big teams involved. So if you're going to show a work where you kind of participated in, it would be good to understand what you have done there, how your experience has been. It's not really necessary that you show the works where you just created everything on your own. I think it's also really not possible to imagine.
Okay, thank you.
Because absolutely, I don't know if I've done lately a project on my own. I don't think so. Some projects which we are inside when you're in the practical world is kind of 40 people, 50 people. And even for theater production, which gonna last just 3 days, 1 weekend, they have sometimes 100 people working on this thing before it happens. So it's completely fine to be a part of it. Well, can we go on to next one? So let's say these kind of 5 to 10 or 20, I think the division should be more like in communication design. Let's have in mind, if you want to study this, that you are storytellers. So you are the ones who are paid from people to tell their stories. And I think see also the application like this. I think it's not so important if you show 20 single pieces. If these 20 single pieces can be seen maybe chronologically or scene-based, it depends a bit, then they connect really well together. It can be a variety of stuff. You see it there. There's even moving stuff, short films inside animations. Maybe communication design is not really just a field which happens in a still image. There's a lot of interactive stuff today too. There should be absolutely some sort of motivation you need to show. So why you would like to become a communication designer. It's not so much why you would like to study in the university. It's more like why you want to become a designer. I think this is the same for all the programs. Don't think so much about the uni. We're going to educate you really well. I think most of the teachers, which I know, they're really good people. So think of why you want to become a designer in the future. Is there a question to communication design? Well, let's go on. We talked about this already. Also, one of these older programs in the university. It's literally the same, which accounts for communication and photography. You can hand in the series of work, but you can also hand in single pieces. if there are single pieces, you have the possibility to reflect in a text, so reflect them together in some sort of story. We want absolutely to see what your motivation is. And as I said before, if you want to apply, sometimes you know a bit the field that you are interested in the moment, but maybe you can also give an outside view of what you still want to learn, because we have a lot of different facilities for photography students. There are a lot of big dark rooms, big studio spaces. But as I said, we also have these kind of really practical on-site photography. Yeah, I think all of this information, what you want to show, should be somewhere in your motivation letter. Okay, really fresh and new program. I don't know, maybe somebody even doesn't know what the names are. So U and X always means user experience, and U and I means always user interface. So it's kind of this bridge between humans and machines. So everything that you can imagine where people touch technical stuff, this is what you would design. I think it's really impossible to imagine that the portfolio has already a complete project, but for sure it would be nice. I myself learned coding when I was 17, so I just say I showed in my portfolio already some coded stuff inside, but it's not necessary. We ask you again to hand in some sort of CV-like idea. The motivation letter is a bit more descriptive here. There are some ideas of what could be inside, but really nothing of this is necessary. It's everything is a can, no? So why do you want to study? I think this is a question to all the programs you should have inside. If you can describe an app, I think app is also outdated. Maybe let's call it digital service. All of these questions you can answer. I think they are more helping you to write the letter a bit on a higher quality. Do you use actually ChatGPT? I think ChatGPT can help you too to write good letters.
Yeah, I'm using it for when I write a text, then I'm putting it inside so ChatGPT can like do the grammar and see if it's correct.
Absolutely. It's not so bad also to still write with your hand, I just say. We have really, when you would come to my courses, we're going to have in the beginning really something practical, because the only way how our brain really saves stuff is when you also do this stuff. So it's kind of, you need to write more mainly to learn stuff, but I think ChatGPT to help you quickly to make something nice. And you can really just ask it, hey, can you make this nice? And then you just drop keywords and it makes a nice text out of it. Can help you absolutely in life. I think for this motivation letter, why not? Sometimes it's also good when you are really unsure what people understand from the stuff you have designed. You can today upload a picture and ask, do you understand what I want to show? And it will tell you if it does or not. I'm just saying, this help is cool. You should use it also for these applications. And you can also use it for later stuff in the university. I think this is not the problem. Do you know already, how do you find out that somebody uses AI or not in a text?
No.
I think it would depend on what kind of vocabulary that kind of person has. Maybe the text has some very advanced words that the said person does not use in their everyday life.
Okay, you explained it already, really a lot of detail inside, but let's imagine really every now of us, if we're going to write a text, we have a certain style. We cannot eliminate this style. We can read really good books and we can perfectionate this style, but you have it just. If you ask AI, then it's the style of all of us together, which is the more common style. It's really precise. And if these styles mix, I'm really sorry, you will fall off a red line in the text, and you will understand it, that this is, as you said, a bit too much, maybe a bit too little, not well connected. So I think it's not really the way to use AI to. It's a really good tool to get support for writing. Some stuff you can easily let it also write, but in the future, you're going to anyhow have ideas. You're going to merge them with the stuff which assistants help you, which people read in books. But you should always have this idea that, you're gonna be inspired by the stuff. It's not really that you copy paste the stuff so much. So I just say, it's a good tool. You should use it, but also with a bit of care. Does somebody wants to study anyhow user experience design, UI? Yes, no? Sad. This is how to change the world, I think.
Fine. So me, yes, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's I just say it's such a great field in design. You're gonna change the world with this stuff. We are on the brink of all these kind of stuff, which we call Internet of Things. But yeah, I just say it's a wonderful field. I'm working in this so many years. It's a well paid business, and it will be, even if there's a lot of AI inside. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to see
just
anyhow each
changing.
program. That's
Yeah.
super. These are the
Okay.
master programs. Not all of them are on Berlin campus. Some of them are also in Potsdam, but we're going to go anyhow through them. So creative computing, it could mean many things, but let's imagine it's a field which it doesn't, as it written there, it's a really technical nature. You don't need to know coding, but it's a plus for the study. It's not necessary so much, but it is a really, let's say, nerdy field. It's these 10 examples. As we said before, not everything can be really finished. There can be also some ideas, some sketches inside. It's not necessary to really have a minor in coding. We kind of have a wide field of people working in creative computing. And this is the same for the other two, all the programs. We want from you to know a bit about what you as a person are. For example, quick question, would you put a picture on the CV?
Yes, I would do that.
For sure, you should, absolutely. For sure, this is so important to have just a picture there. But I'm just saying, because the CV should show you as a person, a bit what you have done. And then, as I said, if this professional practice is not in the field at all, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It should be just show that you are willing, that you are able to do stuff for a year or half a year. Yeah. Okay. This were a lot. First, visual experience, or yeah. Okay. Let's imagine this. It looks really quickly like design, but there is a lot of let's say background. So you have in the master, let's say in the beginning, really a foundation of also design practices and methodologies. So this means it's a master which absolutely goes for visualizing stuff. So we ask also for examples that you are able to show. This doesn't need to be always really, I don't know, some of these examples are more form-followed functions, so they don't need to be visually the most appealing ones, but really work really well. Or you can go also the other one as a visual artist to show maybe stuff which could never work, but it's really visually appealing. As we read it in all of the application, we asked to include a CV and also motivational letter. But let's imagine the fields of what you can come from. I think I would even extend them there in the bottom a bit, because they're really wide. Every form of visualization, which you could do even as data analyst or something, can lead you to these masters. So yeah. Okay. This is a master which is in our university in Berlin, in the campus. You can imagine that we, let's say there's written these kind of 20 photos, but I think when you would go for photography, then you have series. So they should be, as we wrote there, thematically coherent series. I think not all of them, as I said before. Maybe you have some series and you have some just collect them. I put Manu, are you asking something? No. All of the documents should be in all the portfolio should be in one document, which means it should be a PDF. And as we have it for the other programs, show a bit what you are as a person are. I don't know, in a portfolio, there could be even a link to your social media if you have something to share there, or to a Vimeo account or something. I just say it's, do you think that we're going to Google you?
Is this an open question? If you think you're going to Google
Yeah, for
us?
sure. Yeah, you're going to apply.
Well,
So,
probably
what do you
if
think?
you're applying to a art school or school of creatives, you're most likely going to want to see if the person is putting their art out there and is putting themselves out there, and see if there's anything else outside of their portfolio that they've been doing.
I think so
Probably.
too. Yeah, I think so too. I just say, if you're going to apply somewhere, it doesn't really matter where. I think people Google you. So
It's a bit tricky though, because not everyone uses their actual names for their Instagram profiles, their Twitter.
this is why this CV is for. No? So if you have some sort of let's say alias which you can share, then put it there, absolutely. And yeah, people will Google you. They will find out stuff which you have not put in the portfolio. And it's fine. This is how the world is. The internet is really close. It's just one fingertip away of my phone. No? So I just say, imagine this, that it's not really just what you show here, but this is what you want to show us. No? So these kind of series of work is what you share with us. But yeah, I would consider that you also create at a certain moment in life as a creative person some sort of information in the web. For photography. Media design is actually one of the oldest masters we have in the university. It's really these fields. I think we even have had students from even more fields, and they're written there, but it's really, really big. It's not really that you need special knowledge. I don't know, is somebody of you in Berlin or close? Maybe not, no? Because they're in the moment the final presentation. So next week is the end of the summer semester. This means there's all the project presentation happening, and new media design is always a program which exhibits outside. So they go quite often to little galleries in Berlin, and let's say kind of rent it for free for an evening or for a weekend, and then they show their augmented or virtual stuff there. If you ever have the chance to come in the end of the semester before, so let's say now, then you can even easily join also final crit. So I will have with my students next week the final crit, just to say. I don't know why this is right now crossed out, because this is actually valuable information. It says 10 works focusing on artistic, conceptual, formal, and technical capabilities. So this means to make a project in new media design, you will anyhow work in a team. It doesn't matter from which side you come. You can come more from the visual or from the conceptual side, or you can be a nerd too. So all of these works are possible. Yeah, as I said, if you have already works in the field of creative coding, do you know what creative coding is? It's the most easy way to learn code. So let's imagine you always want to have a visual outcome, and you're going to learn a language not by reading a book, but by trying it out. Then there's kind of a lot of this stuff which is happening today in the mix of digital and physical worlds, so kind of augmented reality, virtual reality. If you have projects like this, I think this master is more appropriate for you. There can be also analog works, animations. There should be a letter of motivation inside. They're always asking why new media design, and then secondary of all, why in the university. But as I said, it's more focused to why you want to become a new media designer. Any questions to new media design? No. This sounds so easy to get accepted to this. So easy. Portfolio, maybe also not so much. Letter of motivation, absolutely. And CV, absolutely. I think, just to say, a portfolio is welcome. I think if you don't have a portfolio, it would be weird that you want to study a master in communication design. As I said, communication design, you have probably some sort of Behance portfolio or some sort of minimum Instagram or TikTok portfolio. So you should be able to put it together, because communication design, as I said, it's kind of this program which you get paid for communicating the world. So it would be nice to see some material which you are communicated before. But if you cannot show stuff, maybe you come more from a business direction and you have not created so many visuals, it's also okay to not enter the portfolio. But you should really be clear in the motivational letter why you want to study communication design if you don't have a portfolio. Are there any questions to this application stuff?
Maybe one little thing, especially now with the last one. So if you want to study a master's, you're not really, it's not necessary to have studied it before as a bachelor's. Like, I know it's helpful, but
Let's imagine really we are in Germany, so there is a lot of restrictions. So to study a master, you need to have collected 180 credit points. These credit points can come from different bachelor directions, but I wouldn't really say that it's all of them. I think it's a variety of the bachelor degrees. There's already this kind of idea of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science, but we had Bachelor of Science students already in the master, so it can be made, but I think not from all of them. But yeah, it's a wide field, just to say.
Yeah, it's mostly depend to the program that you want to study. It's not with every program, but with most of the program art and design, you can, if you are interested. And in some cases, it can be that you need to go for the longer period, like not 1 year. You need to go for 1.5 years or 2 years. It depends to the program that you choose and what you studied before.
Exactly, but you don't need to really follow communication and then communication.
Yeah.
Or photography, no? So you could also go first photography and then completely visual experience design master or something. It would be possible.
I have a question.
It depends really. Yeah.
I have a question to the bachelor film motion design. How much videos we should send in and how much the long? Also, wie lang das ist.
The length doesn't matter. The length doesn't matter. I think it's good to show that you can put any sort of storyline in any length. And just to say, if you don't have enough, and I don't remember what the numbers are, 5 and 7, or maybe even 10, I think it's completely fine to see in portfolio also that sometimes you have a storyboard which you made before. Sometimes you have some set shots which you use for the covers and stuff. I think see this more also as an independent work into. I think it's not just the video which is an sample of your work, because we normally just don't go out and shoot videos. We make a concept for this, we write a storyboard, we maybe write the story even before. We have some sort of preparation. Sometimes we have screen designers, whatever. All of this can be seen as samples of this work. I think you don't even need to imagine that you need to hand in 10 videos or something. Olaf? This answer your question, kind of?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
For sure.
Hi. I know my name's intimidating, so you don't have to worry about it. I wanted to ask about illustration. Yes. So when it comes to portfolio submissions, would you say you don't necessarily only care about finished art pieces, but also perhaps like drafts and how you got to it and the thinking processes behind art pieces? And do you want it to be formatted in a way that it's like a professional portfolio, or is it just like, let's say this page, here's the finished piece, here are the drafts in little descriptions of how that ended up becoming that? And
I think it's important to show the process when you really want to show certain elements of the process. It shouldn't be always finished. Let's say it's good to see also how you think, how you design this stuff. For some works, I think I would just have the finished one inside.
Cool. Thank you.
You know, you have some sort of climax in a portfolio. No? So you're going to start simple maybe, and then you get more complex. And I think I would put the process really towards these kind of two important projects, which you have towards the end of the portfolio. For sure, the first project is also really important, but it's not that you need to show in detail every project or something. But some, absolutely, it is valuable if you can share it.
Thank you.
All questions answered? Kind of, yeah. So let's go to the examples.
Wait, can I see again because I just saw that I think I have to do something.
You should unmute and you should describe a bit what you want to show.
Okay.
Simple, really simple.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, it was a bit broad, so it's in the email it said to just show 3 pieces of work. So I said, okay, I guess I'll send this. So it's not really necessarily connected. It was just a broad sense of idea, just to know, okay, which should I like focus more on? But okay, now onto the pieces. So the first one, it's supposed to be, because yeah, for the portfolio we're supposed to do more thematic approach. It's part of a series of time and how you can see like time in structures. So that's a bit the idea behind it. And then the other 2 are, since like I mentioned at the beginning, I was a bit more interested in portraits and outside portraits. Yeah, just it's honestly pretty basic. It was that because my question is for the portfolio, if we are just supposed to, because in photography, the way I understand it is you kind of learn the basics and then you learn to deconstruct them. So I thought maybe for the portfolio, I would just stay at the basics almost and just try to send, I don't know, that kind of thing. So there's not a lot that I can say right now.
Okay.
I don't know.
First of all, they look nice. So first thing accomplished. I think I wouldn't go for just basics. Please don't do this. You make a portfolio to show what you are as a creative person in the life. So if you have some more ideas of this movement and as in the middle, so the middle looks like that you want to show movement, but it also shows that you want to show a person. But I just say, if you have more of this kind of experimental stuff, please put this inside. They look like one series. They don't really look like two separate series. Maybe you can make this also a bit more clear if you want to have them seen as separate. But this is maybe because of your architecture, which is anyhow really similar. If you would end up in Berlin, I don't know if you would imagine how many different styles of architecture you would see. So now it has been completely destroyed after the Second World War. So it's all a mix. It's not really the same facades as you show. But yeah, I think just to say, if you want to show also experiments, please do this. We can see basics in one picture. I just say, people who like to work in the visual field see if a picture is good in one. So don't put 10 of them just to show the basics, I think. And for the last one, I think just portrait photography makes eyes always really sharp. And I cannot zoom in this moment in this presentation, but I don't think in the last one the eyes are sharp. But just to say, it's you're in between. So rather you want to photograph people or more the facade behind, or you're going to bring it in a completely different context. But for this, the story is a bit missing. In the moment, it's okay. I would say if there would be more experiments or some focus to, if you really want to go for people, see their eyes really close. I don't know. You need to decide a bit because the middle image would be cropped in the bottom to have it just focus on a person, and we wouldn't see these reflections and ask ourselves, do we see palm trees there? I don't know.
So just to be clear, okay, so in the portfolio, it's absolutely almost like the very important to the story behind the pictures. It's not really about necessarily the basic knowledge that you have, but just more of the ideas and what you can bring.
Because the skill set you're going to have as a photographer, we're going to see in your pictures.
Okay.
But we don't need first black and white, then people, and then houses. It would be more like that you're going to tell us something. And this could be here a story. It's a bit of a weird ending, but could be one.
Shekofat, so you raised your hand. Do you have any question?
I did have a question, but I think it was sort of answered as they were speaking, so it's all good. Thanks. It was more, the question was just more based on, so when it comes, I will be doing illustrations, so very different fields, but in the same sense that I will have to show at least one page, I believe, of technical drawing skill and my ability to do the fundamentals, no? Or no?
I don't know. I don't know. Really, in a scene of a I don't know, where you have a world created and where you have a character inside, we see that you liked to draw in the past. So we see kind of that you would manage to do the foundations.
I believe so, yes. But not every character has accurate human anatomy, but I guess that doesn't matter depending
No, it doesn't
on,
matter. No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
It's more interesting really what you want to show, what kind of topics you were thinking of. I think it really depends. You know, we are not blind people, so we know that the world is really aggressive in the moment in some parts of the areas of the world. There are a lot of conflicts. There's still people having hunger. 50 million people die in car accidents. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to talk about and to share. And I think it's more interesting to see what you like to share. And if it's, I don't know, really close up to a person, that's this. I think this is all decide from you. But we don't necessarily need to see that you have the skill to draw with a pencil and with a chalk and with a brush or stuff. No, this we don't need to see. I think we see this more in the stuff you worked on.
Cool. And for a portfolio, would you say, does the whole portfolio have to be one whole story, or can you have different completed stories in one portfolio?
Let's say it will be somehow anyhow a story of you, so it will be one complete line, but no, for sure. Imagine more like series. So you have some sort of theme in the beginning, maybe then a middle one, and maybe then one in the end, or maybe 4 or 5, I don't know. It depends. You don't need to have everything aligned up in one.
Thank you.
I don't know. Leia's not here, right?
No, shit.
But just to give quickly a feedback for the others who see this.
I think it's also the trap of only showing your finished illustrations, unless if that was the point, because we only had
No.
like 3 images to show. Oh,
Exactly. I think the problem is for sure that you have just a limited amount in the portfolio, would have a bit more. But you can see tendencies, no? You see already that there's let's say an analog part, which is quite nice developed. You have a digital part, which is elaborated. These first two, even if they're still a bit in style difference, one is far more precise and the other could still work together in some sort of. So it's I just say good drawing skills. Nice that you were kind of using digital drawing skills too. I think this is really helpful in the field. And yeah, absolutely. I think I would be pleased to see the other works too. Also not here.
Also not here.
I don't know what this should be. Just to say, maybe you can help me. Should this be a game?
Yeah, it's for game design.
Yeah. I think it's not so easy to see from this the ability. I think when you show a game, something on the left looks like the game. It would be nice to see a scoring board, to see my profile, see my character, to see the stuff which we call items, whatever. Everything that makes a game. Right now we just see a background scene of a shipwreck on the beach. I think it's more like illustration skills. On the right side we see, yeah, again, high quality 3D, 2D render, maybe fake background cover scene. But the elements are also missing to understand what they want to show. I just say it's not so clear. I think it's a good 3D skills. I don't know if it would be enough to be a game designer. Okay, that's cool. Funny. But also not there, right?
Yes, also not here.
Obviously, with not a focus background in something like media spaces or something, more like in the background of photography. But nice photos, I guess. But it's also a mix now. So it's when you would see this just for any sort of, it's a mix now. So there's a studio inside. There's kind of this real world inside, and then there's. It looks like an artificially lit, but it might be really just simply in front of a park on a bench, a lucky moment. Somebody smokes a cigarette. But just to say, in this order, it's kind of maybe not the right. I think I would just put the street in the way that I wanted, because the last one is not the most qualitative picture. It's more like storytelling, no park situation and stuff, but it's not focused to nothing. So there's a focus to a bench. Who's interested in the bench? Maybe it's rather the person or the back. I don't know. It's not really the best picture as the last one because the last one is the stuff which people will remember. What do you think? How many different pictures somebody is able to remember? I would say 5 to 7, maybe. So 5 to 7 things I can remember, and if the last one is not the best, then I'm like, I'm fucked. It should be more in the beginning. Cool, let's go. Anyhow, not there. That is also not seen here, right? Okay. Difficult to understand without a text, I think. Especially when, for example, so let's imagine this kind of story on the left where there's a foldable wooden chair. When you photograph stuff like this, you should imagine that there should be references inside which we can understand of sizes. What could you put inside of this picture to understand what kind of size this object has there? I think maybe a chair.
A human.
A human would be the most easy. A human would be the most easy, absolutely. Sometimes you can just put a hand inside of something. But yeah, if you're going to make a table, then there could be yeah, but it could be already a chair there when you have anyhow a table or something. But I think just references are nice. And then really for the two right ones, they look nice. I think it's not the painted of the rose is not so nice that it's a reflection in the picture. So somebody stood in front of it. I think it's more easy to take it out, take the picture for real, and then put it back into the frame. It's also, you transport something in the way how you document the stuff that you have done. So if somebody has a reflection in the middle of the important scene on his or her picture, then I think we would see as a teacher, maybe there is not so much interested in showing the stuff that they have created. So it's not benefiting you if the picture has reflections or something like this. I think it's not really a perfect portfolio when we've seen all the other ones. It's more like let's see, maybe we would give you a little task to do portfolio. Let's say if we are unsure, then we can give you a task which you need to work on and you hand in the example of the task. But this anyhow depends on different programs. Is there a question inside? This is what you want to say. I don't get this. Why I didn't see anything. What do you have not seen?
They might be having technical difficulties with their screen.
That's not so good. I hate Teams. I'm really sorry. We need to use this software all the time, but Microsoft is not such a good company.
Can't you not see? Can you see it now, or is not clear?
Everything is okay, thanks.
Okay, super. Which program is this application for? It is okay.
Illustrator.
Yeah. Can we see just it again? It's also something which none of you sits here, right? I think this is a portfolio which, it's really high quality. I just say it's a lot of quality inside now. So these scenes are so detailed and it shows just one style, which is fine too. It just has digital styles inside. We don't know so much if this is a drawn digital one or if this is sometimes a 3D created one. I don't know. I think the only thing what is missing really is storytelling for this. So I don't get nothing of the story, but there for sure is one. Write it down. And then really high-class pictures. I don't know why you need to study illustration. You can maybe just start to work somewhere. It's not true. There is really a lot of stuff which you can learn too.
We don't have anybody for game design. Should we go again or just
we
pass
can
it?
just see it to just get a spirit,
Okay.
even if we don't know about this. Evil. Yeah, absolutely is serious. I think you see it yourself. The story at a certain moment comes the devil with from the sky. Nice.
We have a question.
Oh, okay, cool. So if we raise up our hand, we just speak immediately, sort of a thing?
You
or-
can.
Okay, cool, thanks. I don't know if this is relevant right now to the meeting, but is there a big distinction between communication design and illustration?
Yeah, in sense
Because
of the
it seems
program.
because with illustration, I believe you could do analog drawing, you can do digital drawing, you could do paintings. But with communication design, is it more of just you can still do all of that, but also go into like perhaps web design, graphics, and other things, whereas illustration is more limited?
No, limited also not. Let's imagine in both you could make, let's say, something like a magazine or something easily. You can tell web stories easily. I've even seen spatial illustration for bachelor projects where we kind of walked into a room and all the illustrations were hanging somewhere, but it was in the end a space which we entered. So it can be even new media design in the sense. I think for this, it's not really the division doesn't happen so much in the outcome, but it's, I think, in communication design, you will have a tendency to think about users, which gonna look at the pictures, which gonna click through the dummy you're gonna have. And I think for illustrators, it's still a bit more artistic approach for this. But in the end, the outcome doesn't need to be so different. You're right. Where in communication design, we might have a bit more agency focus, I think. You know, we like to imagine real world projects and real world teams, and yeah, I just say it's in the education. It is still different education, but some of the outcomes might be even really similar. I just say, but illustrators will not have interactive classes. They can attend to something foundations of some sort of practical approach in user experience design, but it's not necessary where communication design needs to.
I see. Cool. Thank you.
Series of work, not here, but it's interesting for the photography. I think it's an interesting approach to do something in movement. I think that's nice. It's a bit weird that we need to move our head always kind of like this. I think this is not really nice directed. It's also not so clear what is the end of the series and what is the beginning. I would kind of really ask myself, do I focus on movement or do I focus on reflection? Maybe I would limit a bit the bad quality on the bottom left, and I think I would leave 3 images of this one. But yeah, not so clear. Yeah, absolutely. It's a communicative chaos. This is a really good platform. You should just go there. This is where all I think it's the last 7 semesters now. So let's imagine 3.5 years of bachelor and master projects are collected here. So all the different programs that you can imagine are existing in the university, they are collected here. So you can just go there, filter for film and motion, and you're going to see all the films from there's a VD hierarchy. So it will start always with a teaser image. Then you're going to read a bit about the work. Then there mainly is a 1-minute presentation of the student, so of the graduate. And then you're going to see the project, maybe some links, what they're doing now and stuff. But yeah, it's a really cool place for getting inspiration, what you can do as a bachelor too. So when I see new students, I just ask them in the 2nd semester, because from the 3rd semester on, they need to think of the bachelor project. And these are all the kind of graduational projects we have created in the last years. And also for you, it's cool to see what the university is able to do with you, because you will see really complete projects. I just say some people don't like to document their stuff online, so they've done really bad portfolios, but there are a lot of really cool projects inside too. I think 6,000. I know it because I'm working in this team, so I love internet too. So I created multiple websites in my life. So this is one I've created too. But yeah. And let's imagine if you have really questions to the program, our website is sometimes maybe not so easy to understand, but they always ask outside agencies to do these jobs. They would never ask us to do it. But there you will find, let's say, minimum 1 or 2 people which you can contact in each different department. And I think if you have some further questions, ask this directly to the program heads. I think this can give you really, really quickly answers to stuff which might come still unclear.
Yeah, I've been in communication with one of the advisors at the school, and they've given me advice of like how to apply and all that good stuff. But for more specifics on the courses, they don't really have that information. So they advised me to first apply, and then they can filter my questions to the people who are in charge of that department and then send those back to me, I guess.
But really, just to be true, you see the people. For your program illustration is Hans Balzer. He's a really wonderful person. If there would be something which is really important to know before, you can absolutely write him. That's not the problem. But really, in general, for the application process, it's not so difficult, really, to just hand in the portfolio, do the application. For sure, there's a lot of questions if you would like to study in Berlin. It's so much difficult, or it's really difficult to find a place to stay here. There are a lot of expensive flats at the moment. I just say all of this. Maybe there is not the program head, but there are other people in university which have far more knowledge for this. So I think it's always, if you have questions, direct them also to the people you would like to get the answer from. But yeah, don't imagine that we can answer all the questions too. I think some of them can be unknown still.
And just one more, you can always ask for the trial session as well. Our programs, well, we are in the last months before the break, so maybe there won't be available later, but right now there is still a chance to have the trial sessions. If you are interested, you can ask from your advisor and they can arrange it for you.
Yeah, but I think realistically just in the next 2 weeks. I think there is nothing to try out after the end of, so there's going to be an exhibition if you're going to be in Berlin on the 19th. So all the bachelor and master graduates going to exhibit on the 19th together. But there's not happening.
All the way in Africa, so I cannot be in Berlin right now.
This I can imagine. This is why I also said it just for the ones who could be there, because I don't imagine that you would just come for this. But as I said, it will be also in the archive. So the website on the 19th will not look like the website now with all these tiles which you can scroll downwards. On the 19th, the website will just be an exhibition for the works which are exhibited. Some more questions, or everything is kind of answered?
Are there examples from motion design somewhere to see?
As I said, in the archive for sure. In the archive for sure, but not here in the portfolio in the moment. But in the archive, I think I can go there and filter you motion design out. But not really as examples for handing into a portfolio. This is more like, was the time for you to just hand some works inside and we would have talked about them. Maybe you have something to share. Maybe you can share a link or something of a video we were part of. Or...
It was Olaf, yeah? Olaf?
No, I have no link at the moment, no.
Because then I would just say get inspired from the graduate projects. But you don't need to have certain qualities or something to this video. It doesn't matter if it has been a music video or a documentation of some sort of festival. It really doesn't matter. So everything can be inspiring and creative and show your talent.
I have small questions because I also got in contact. When you go to the website, you can get in contact with one student, but I don't know exactly what the position is. But I had a meeting with her and I got a bit confused because so on one side she told me that for the portfolio actually only 10 pictures was needed, but I guess it's actually 20, right?
You should have taken a screenshot when the
Yeah,
slide was on
yeah.
for.
Yeah, no, I know, I saw it, but like I said, I got like two different
Take this information here. Doesn't matter.
okay. And also for the motivational letter, because we also talked a bit about that. Are there any tips that maybe you could share with us, like things that we should include? Because
Yeah, I think really, I think for a motivational letter, I think I would always start where you are in the moment of your life, what you came from, but maybe mainly where you are. It would be a big change when you would start to study. So to imagine to study one field, not being this person who needs to learn all these different fields, would do something with you, and maybe you can describe what you outsee as a change in you, what your focus might be. As you said in the beginning yourself already, you said that you, in the moment, like portraits, but you're completely open to outside scene, street photography. I think this is all really valuable inside of the motivation. So to what kind of extent you want to become more complete photographer, I guess. If somebody can, I don't know, maybe you have already an idea what you want to earn the money afterwards of, no? So maybe you have ideas and visions of stuff which you want to do in the world. But yeah, I think really start from your perspective, start from the moment you are in the moment of now, and explain us a bit past what you want to achieve.
I can
Thank you.
add something.
Yeah.
You need to answer a couple of questions, basically why you are choosing this program, why University of Europe, and why Germany. These are part of the questions that you need to answer. And also you need to mention the exact name of the university and the exact name of the program. These are important to be seen in your motivation letter.
Yeah. And really, let's imagine this motivation letter is not always just about the content itself. It's also about to see your writing skills, because we need to write with you a thesis in the end of the program. So I just say it's multiple things this letter shows. It's not just about the content itself. You know what I mean? We will see how good your English is too.
Thank you.
Will the recording be shared after the meeting? Or
No, it's only for training. Yeah, for art. Thank you.
I don't even see it. It's okay.
Any other questions?
No, good luck. I think just good luck for the portfolio. Just make it simple. Just hand it in. It's going to be cool 3 years. Studying is anyhow cool. You will learn so many new things. You will have so many nice colleagues in the programs. You can imagine even our group here is international. This means if we're going to have our classes, we are 15 to 25 people, and they're all coming from different parts of the world. So I just say it's really exciting to study. And I think our university is cool. I'm really long there, so I know it really well. It's good. It's a cool way to study.
We have one more question.
Really, really quick question. I'm so sorry. So I either had a plan to start applying this year for the following year, and I have to submit my portfolio in order to get a conditional acceptance. But because I will be planning to come the following year, 2025, I will most likely make art by that time. And so I would sending a portfolio for now for my application. But is it possible for me to maybe send new art for later on? I don't know. Because I know you can apply like a year in advance, but does that mean you apply with the portfolio from the year before, or can you apply with portfolio for the year upcoming?
And this is really difficult. First of all, this should be in your motivation letter inside that you plan to do just arts or to just concentrate on the stuff you anyhow like already. This is something cool. But I think really when you want to study 2025 winter semester, then you don't need to apply in this winter semester. I think it would make sense for you to take the time, do the stuff you like, and elaborate it, and then you're going to apply for the winter semester.
May I just add something? The thing is, in some countries, visa process is long, and they need to apply a long time in
Not only that,
advance.
but also when I was talking to the advisor, they said that they plan to increase the fees in August, and international fees are extremely expensive.
Yeah, that is another reason.
Yeah, and to get some funding. No, in this sense, I think have it clear in the motivation letter what you want to do, so that you want to concentrate on this. It's not so much that you can update a portfolio. People will look at the portfolio and decide in this moment. So, you know what I mean?
Yes. Thank you.
Cool. Have fun. Have a
Thank
good
you, everybody.
time. And thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.